Hello everyone, today we are back for a review of Juno's Tower. So Juno's Tower started in December 2024. It has about 2.7678 quadrillion coins in LTC. He is making the switch, the yo-yo between the Champions and Legend tournament here. So yeah, he's making the yo-yo between the champion and legend tournament. Every time that he's reaching legend, he get demoted. Like the previous person that I was reviewing, I see that you're not properly doing your legend tournament. Like the last one that you did was the 9th of September. So I think it's important that you try to do those legend tournament, even if you know that you're not going to be to be kept in legend. It's good to see you tower doing better and see better wave. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. So overall, you see that to make the qualification to legend, around 1600 wave is required. That's about what is being made. And the goal of Juno, when I was reading his introduction, was to stay in legend, get some keys. So get some keys, just to say that realistically right now you're quite far from getting some keys. Getting some keys means that you need to do minimum 500 wave in legend, and doing 500 wave, that means that sometimes you get demoted, and sometimes if you're very lucky you can get some keys. But if you want to get keys most of the time, then you need to have probably like 700 wave in legend, which is quite far from what you are doing right now. Move to a better strategy than a blender. We are going to talk about that. Maybe too soon for that? No, it's not too soon. It's just a matter of how you decide to organize your tower. Real money spent, so you have all the premium pass, you have 2 summoner stones pack, some event boosts, and the free regular pack. So this video is going to be built a little bit different versus the other one. So in the first part, I'm going to explain how you can move into a better strategy than the blender to farm better. And in the second part, I'm going to explain you what are the things that you can invest if you want to now achieve your goal and objective, which is stay in legend and get some keys. Because to me, those two things are not necessarily linked. And since we are talking about farming more effectively, let me introduce the sponsor of today's video, UG Phone. I'm using it on my mobile to farm, and as you see, I was wave 855, and I can use my mobile to do something completely different and even turn it off. I can also use any other app, and I'm using UG Phone every time that I'm asleep to do night runs, or when I'm traveling and I don't want to be constantly on my phone, or I want to use my phone for other purposes such as taking pictures with my family or other aspects of my life. There is 2 links in the description of the video, one to download the app and the other one which is a short tutorial to help you set up UG Phone and do your first run within this. That app really helped me increasing the amount of time that I'm capable of farming into the games through the night runs or through every time that I'm moving somewhere for my holidays. It's been really increasing the number of coins that I'm capable of making per day, and in average, just having this app running in the background of my phone and not having to recharge my phone constantly through the night or through a travel that I'm doing somewhere. Thank you UG Phone for your support, and I carry on with my video. So right now you're using BHD and MVN with a synchronization at 98 seconds with a golden bot. Okay, so expect the golden bot to be quite advanced, because if you are using golden bot synchronized with MVN, I think the golden bot has a lot of value on those kind of strats. So you need to have a very stacked golden bot, especially on the range and on the multiplicator. We're going to see that. So you farming a 90-meter range, which is not typical, but okay, fair. And lately, your stone are going to GT, so Golden Tower and Death Wave cooldown. So already, you see, the first thing that I can say is that you are investing stones into economy, but then your objective is to do better in legend. So I don't understand why you're doing so. Golden Tower and Death Wave cooldown, this is economy. So if you want echo, then I guess you are aiming for card masteries. But when I saw your history, because at some point you show me the history here, you're making 5 trillion an hour. So even if you run the game like all the time, 24 hours out of 24, you are making 100 trillion per day. So that means that the first level are going to take you 10 days. So you're very far actually from an economy that is capable of making the masteries. So I'm always going back to the same thing that I'm saying. When you are in champion, you need to dedicate yourself to either like have an economy that is strong enough to support the mastery, which you don't have right now, and maybe it's because also you're doing a blender instead of a devo, or you need to focus on your damage to be able to do better in tournament. Also, damage is the only thing that is viable in legend. Right now, the meta is that even if you have what you are saying here, EHP build with Primordial Collapse for a permanent black hole, this can steal your way into legend, but when you are in legend, you're never going to get anywhere with this strategy. Like, especially if you are aiming for keys, we're talking about 700 wave. 700 wave, you're gonna get one shot. Whatever you are using, it's like, we're talking about quadrillion damage. So this is not going to be helpful. So in my opinion, if your goal is really to stay in legend and then get some keys, then the Primordial Collapse, this is not viable for tournament. Maybe it is for farm, then that's a different question. But for tournament, you should not rely on that. Especially that very often in Legend, you get this battle condition that is reducing the time of the black hole. And then this whole strategy is becoming obsolete. So I will really insist on this. Don't rely on permanent black hole and Primordial Collapse if you want to stay in legend. I think this is like a very short-term game to steal your way through champion, and then after you have wasted some time for your tournament. So right now, I would say that what you are spending your stone on and your objective, they're not aligned. So we need to realign that. Third spotlight, okay, this I like, but I'm pretty sure that you say that just after Golden Tower and Deathwave because you want some echo. So if you want some echo, this is fine, but then you definitely need to switch the strategy to have Orb Devo. And you say that it doesn't work, but I think you didn't build it correctly, because it does work with your tower. So I've been using a blender build because I can't make Orb Devo work for me. So we are going to make you an Orb Devo. If this is what you want, this is something that we can do. It doesn't make enough to justify the nerf in tournaments. There is some Devo builds that are actually not such a big nerf. And again, this is what is your objective. If your objective is to make a strong economy so you can stay in legend, you definitely need to nerf yourself to get a strong economy right now if you want to stay in legend. If your economy is not relevant because you want to go full damage, then why do you invest in Golden Tower and Deathwave? So you see here there is something that is not aligned to what we want. You need to pick a strategy and stick to it. The strategy is either doing some echo and use this income to get the card mastery advantage, or to invest the stones into something that is straight on damage, such as the third spotlight or chain lightning, things like this. But there is something that is disconnected. The extra attention is same thing. Extra attention is something that, depending on the build that you are doing, you don't need extra attention. You can have something that is very low attention. And no matter what is the shockwave size, try the minimum, just like the bare minimum, and you see that you're not going to push any enemies to your orbs. Like, you just don't put any point into the shockwave, 0, and then you see that you don't have any problem with shockwaves. After wave 2000, enemy fly to the edge. If the shockwave is level 0, they don't fly to the edge because the shockwave is not doing anything. So that is another thing, like shockwave size, minimum. Yeah, of course, if you get kills before MVN activate, then the Devo is not working. So the thing here is that the shockwave that you are using is probably not good. So we're going to check if you have the wall or not, but that's just after. So I will go into the details of every aspect of your tower, but if we are focusing on the wall Devo build, so you have a sharp fortitude. So this is the first step. Then the second thing that I'm going to look at is the number of cards that you have, and you have a decent amount of cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 cards. That should be enough. It's a bit low for your level, but should be enough to do that. Then regarding your research, if I go to the defense research, so health, you have a decent health, a good health regen. So this is perfect to have the whole devo. You have whole health that is okay, and then you have, so shockwave size, by the way, if you click on this research, there will be an arrow like range, and you can reduce the shockwave size. So because we are going to go for something that do not use shockwave, you should reduce this to level 0, and before you start a tournament, you put it back to the maximum level. Usually this is what we do on devo. We reduce that, and it's also true for range. Like most of the time, like I found with 30-meter range, but when I do tournament, I go to the max range. So my research on range, I reduce it after the tournament, and I increase it before I start the tournament. So I recommend you do the same for shockwave if you have problem with shockwave. Then after, what do we have? We have wall regen, which is very nice. It's actually like 200%. So amazing. Wall of Thorn, 13%. So you have everything, and wall fortification that is really well built. So you have everything here that is well organized to have a nice devo build with the wall. So I don't understand why it's not working. Honestly, you have everything in hand to make something that is correct. Okay, if you don't want to have, so what I'm going to explain here as a devo for the wall is not the optimized devo version. It's a version that I call a lazy devo version. So you minimize the impact that it has on tournament for you, and minimize the impact that also you have to micromanage when you are starting a run. So in your workshop, for the devo that I propose, the damage, you keep them to the maximum level that you can. So I don't know what is like the level that you have of your damage here, but you keep this. Attack speed, you max. Critical change, critical factor, you max everything if you can. Attack range, you can max it as well, it's okay. Damage per meter, it becomes very expensive, so you don't max that, but you put it to the as high as you can. So this is completely fine for me. This you max, and then here you keep it the way it is, and you don't unlock rend armor because after it gets quite expensive. Bounce shot, actually you can max it if you want. Just don't do the level that are very, very expensive, but this you can put as many as you want. So you start with something that is pretty much the same as you have right now. You don't need to nerf yourself on this aspect of your tower. Even if you are going to kill some enemies, like when you are going to reach a certain amount of wave where the coins really matter, then this is going to be too low anyway to do any damage, so you don't really care about that. Moving to this obviously you keep as high as possible the health regen, defense percentage. So defense absolute, in my opinion, this is pretty useless, so you don't have to have it gold box. Actually, I would rather you not to have it, so you can put some point, but this is up to you. I think it's a waste of coins for the amount of defense that it brings. Tone, you keep it to the maximum. Yes, to the maximum. Lifesteal maximum. Knockback chance, this needs to be 0 or 1%. I do like the 1% because every time that you have a quest that is requesting you to do some knockback to enemies, with 1% you do this quest and it still doesn't screw your tower devo build. So knockback chance 0% or 1%. The knockback force, you keep it to the maximum level because you're not going to knockback, so this is completely okay. Orb speed, you can keep this to the maximum level, and number of orb, you put 0 here and you don't touch it. So you don't get a lot of enemies that are going to be killed by the orbs. Potentially for your run, you're gonna get orbs, but that's okay. Like you accept that this is going to be something that is going to nerf a little bit the coin generation. Shockwave size, this is the minimum level that you want. So you actually bump frequently, but you don't bump at all because the size is very, very minimal. Frequency, you can max this part. Landmine chance, this you want to max this. You want to have the maximum level on landmine chance because you're gonna use a landmine stun. and you don't need to have any damage. So landmine, you skip this, and the radius, you max it. So those two things need to be maxed, but this, you don't have to touch it. Dev Defy, you can keep the 30%, and then this you increase as much as you can. So if this level feels comfortable for you, that's completely fine. Then moving to here, you can max everything up there, and then free attack upgrade, this you max, very important, because we don't care about attack upgrade in the build that I'm explaining. And then free defense upgrade and free utility, those two you put 0. This is very important. If you don't put 0 here, then you're gonna get free defense upgrade, and potentially you're gonna start getting the shockwave size, or you're gonna get the knockback chance, and then it's going to screw your devo build. So you put 0 here and here. Interest, you can max. Recovery amount, you can max. Recovery here, you can max. Pack exchange, you can max. And then here, you are going to keep like a balance the same way you have here, with a little bit more empathize into attack. So this is perfect for me. This is great. Then moving on to the enhancement, so a little bit of damage, it's okay. Critical factor, it's okay. And super crit multiplicator. So this is really for the damage of your ultimate weapon. It's not going to be useful for farming, but it's going to be useful for tournament. Nothing to say about that. This is good. Yeah, perfect. Damage per meter here, it's completely useless if you don't have Spotlight Plus. So if you don't need to put any points here, you probably can save this amount of stones, which is decent, to something else. So up to you if you want to keep this, but that's not something that is mandatory. Then going into the defense, then you want health regen. Obviously, those two are very interesting. Wall health, this is pretty good. And then the rest is completely useless. Perfect. And then the enhancement, you get the coins, you get the cells, very important. Free upgrade, this is not super important. However, you use BHD, so for you it is. So you can keep this. And the enemy level skip, really like that. So perfect. Nothing to say about your workshop. For the module, I think this is completely okay, but for the orb devo, like right now, I think the amplifying strike to farm, you are going to remove this, and you are going to put something that is not dealing any damage. So level 1, what I do recommend is that you probably put something like this, you know, like a standard one, or this is even better, like do level 1 here, that is not going to deal any damage. This is becoming you farm module, so you don't deal any damage. So keep this. For the economic module, you will need to remove the BHD, because the free upgrade with Devo is screwing up the build, so you will not benefit from BHD at all. And instead, you will move from this BHD and you will go to the G-comp that you have, that is pretty good anyway. So this is perfect. And you don't have any free upgrade here, so that's completely appropriate, and you use the Galaxy compressor. So I think this is going to help you also reduce the cooldown that you have on all the ultimate weapon. You have 98 seconds, you told me, so those minus 20 seconds are going to be a welcome boost to this whole things. I know that synchronizing BHD and Golden Bot is a big thing, but in my opinion, moving to a Devo wall is going to provide you way more coins than staying with this BHD blend build, because now you are killing a lot of enemies outside of the windows of the ultimate weapon, because 98 seconds is a lot of time. So there is a lot of enemy that are killed without this big boost of damage that you get, of coins that you get. So moving to G-comp is going to help you a lot here. Then on Sharp Fortitude, this is very well built. You have 8% defense, health regen, wall health, so nothing to say, you keep that. And the Multiverse Nexus is pretty good. Ideally it will be ancestral, but this is pretty nice. You have Death Wave Quantity, the reduction on cooldown, and the bonus on Golden Tower. I mean, this is fine. Keep it like this. So for the cards, obviously you want to remove free upgrade, and you want to ban the perk free upgrade. If you haven't banned the perk free upgrade, it's going to screw your Devo. So think about removing free upgrade and ban the perk free upgrade, otherwise your Devo is not going to work. So this is very important. Attack speed you can remove, because you're not going to use it in Devo anymore. For the card, you are going to add the second wind and demon mode. It's not that useful in Devo because if your wall is exploding, then you're pretty much dead, but it's going to give you a little bit more coins. It's better than nothing. I do like plasma cannon and I don't see it here. You should include it because every time that an enemy is hitting you, the next attack is 4% stronger than the previous one. So the boss, because they are going to take only 20% or not even 20%, 13% from your research of the taunt that you have, they are going to hit you substantially because they only take half of the damage for taunt, and every time that they hit you, it's going to increase the damage by 4%, scaling quite a lot, I would say. So with the plasma cannon, it will reduce a little bit the scaling and probably liberate a little bit of the damage that you get from bosses. So regarding the ban perk, so interest you're going to replace by free upgrade because you want to ban free upgrade for this. The lifesteal here, you can replace that, and actually one of the things that you can remove is the things that is completely destroying your cash. So the things that is not providing you cash when you kill enemies, but multiply by 13 the cash that you get from wave. So I think that's another one that you can ban. The rest, I think it's pretty clever. So you don't want to nerf your life regen. I think it's very important. You don't want to have more damage on enemies. So this is also something that is completely okay. For the farm and the auto pick, this is completely fine. So obviously free upgrade is not going to be here because it's going to be banned for the Devo build. And then one of the things that you can put is the defense. Defense percentage is a little bit better than the health in my opinion, but they both are quite good. And if you're capable of going far, you're going to max all the perks anyway. So that doesn't really matter. Quick pause here to say that if you wish to support me, you can go into the creator code here and enter my name, Noobodytest, which is the name of the channel, and this is going to help me tremendously. The code is resetting every 30 days, so even if you have entered it once and you wish to continue to support me, you may have to enter it again. You can also add it into the online store, and by the way, you get way better value for your money online than through the apps. Thank you so much for the people supporting me, and I carry on with the video. So I'm done with the transition to Devo wall build, and the last thing, and this is the transition to the ultimate weapon and where we move for the tournament, is if you are playing chain lightning, you should disable it when you are farming, because chain lightning has a tendency to kill enemy outside of black hole range, meaning that you are wasting the amount of multiplicator that black hole is providing you. So every time that you are farming, I do recommend that chain lightning is completely off, because this is going to nerf your coin generation. So this is something important. I do recommend as well that if you have spotlight missile, that it's also disabled, and if you have smart missile, which you don't, you also disable smart missile. So looking at your ultimate weapon, you have golden tower that has a decent cooldown, you have death wave that has a decent cooldown, and you have the black hole that is gold box here, and so everything here seems to be quite oriented into economy, which is good. You have a solid base, but this solid base is not enough, as I was explaining, to provide you the edge to be able to build the current masteries. So if you want to keep going into the direction of economy, so first you switch to a wall Devo, you are going to generate more coins. This is the first step, and then after you can keep investing into your ultimate weapon for economy. So the bonus of golden tower is one aspect. Probably the cooldown of golden tower is another point that you can increase. I would say that the duration here is already good, so you don't have to worry about that, but probably like keep going into the cooldown is the right way. So like a few clicks into the cooldown of golden tower is going to help you, and then eventually after you can add the quantity here, so you keep having like this boost of death wave a little bit longer into the time frame. So this is if you want to go for economy. If you want to go for damage, from what I see here, you have a decent amount of damage from your chain lightning. What you're a little bit missing is the chance, and chance are important because that is the amount of chain lightning that are going to pop and also going to hit the boss that is trying to hit you, which is going to be a problem in Legend. So here, if you want to build damage, I would say that building a little bit into the chain lightning chance is probably something that is going to be good. I would say adding 2 or 3 clicks, you will be at a good spot. And then after, the next one that you need to do, clearly if you want to stay in Legend and to get keys, you need to have new ultimate weapon and you need to get the Chrono Field. This is really what is missing you to be able to stay in Legend. Chrono Field is an ultimate weapon that is not mandatory in Champion, but it becomes mandatory in Legend if you don't want to get one shot. So this is really the piece of the puzzle that is missing you if you want to do better in Legend is Chrono Field. I see that in Spotlight you have already 3 Spotlight, which is pretty decent. Obviously a 4th one is going to be optimal, but to me this is not the priority. Really what you need to do is unlock the next ultimate weapon, get this Chrono Field, start the research on Chrono Field, because this is going to be a long run. It's probably like 3 months worth of research on Chrono Field to get a decent one. And then when you are doing this, you can either invest into Chrono Field cooldown, or you can save up to get the 4th beam of Spotlight. You will need both. In Legend, the holy trinity that you need is Spotlight, Chain Lightning, and Chrono Field, and you need to have great ones on the 3 of them. So my recommendation is really to say for Chrono Field, you can put a little bit of chance in Chain Lightning, is not going to change much, but really like this Chrono Field research needs to be going. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you unlock ultimate weapon and you don't have Chrono Field, there is actually 3 chance out of 4 that you get a Chrono Field. But if you don't, one of the things that you could consider, I would say, is Inner Landmine, because they are an ultimate weapon that provide you a little bit of control and they're not very expensive to build. So you just have like 4 or 5 landmine, you just do the research on rotation and the stun, and then you get a little bit of control on something that is not costing you a lot of money. Smart Missile, if you don't invest into it, it's completely useless. Frozen Swamp, same thing. And the one that I'm missing is Chrono Field. So yeah, if you don't get Chrono Field, Inner Landmine is probably your best option, because it will provide some value with the stun on the mine, even if you have not invested a lot of stones at all. So that's my reco on this. Regarding to your module for tournament, so to me, I see that you have the good module. So Amplifying Strike is the best in slot for attack, and this is like correctly built, so this is fine to me. Project Funding, perfect. Dimension Core, so you have really amazing module. I have to say, like for a high champ, the module quality that you have is spot on. So you should be consider yourself like very lucky, or I don't know if you invested a lot of gems into them, but really well done for your module, because they are really amazing. You have the good ones in the amazing quality, and they are well built as well. Dimension Core here, I like the Chain Lightning damage here, because you don't have an amazing Chain Lightning damage on your ultimate weapon. However, at some points, I think having the angle on the Spotlight is going to be more beneficial, especially that now you have 3 beam, and when you will get 4, you will need to have this angle on Spotlight. The value that Spotlight is providing you is a lot, and is way more than a little bit of damage on Chain Lightning. Basically, what Spotlight does is that any enemies that enter Spotlight get instant kill, because it's like multiplying by 10 the damage, or even a little bit more for you. So this is nice, but having more angle and increasing the coverage of Spotlight is very important in Legend, because very quickly it's the enemy that are not in Spotlight that are becoming a threat. That is what is going to happen. So you will need to have a coverage of Spotlight that is as strong as possible. I see that you are level 138, so very soon you are going to unlock the next sub. Really try to roll for the angle on Spotlight on the Dimension Core to have something that is going to be better. For your card in tournament, if you are in Legend, I don't think you should use Free Up. I think it has 0 value for you, because as you are getting 50% less enemy level skip in 200 wave, which is basically what you are doing, you're not going to max the enemy level skip. So this is completely useless for you. Instead, what you can use is the energy shield that is providing you some hit, I think is going to provide you a little bit more value. I like the cash because you have project funding, and I understand that you want to have a little bit of health regen, and defense because you're playing with the war and you're still in transitioning. But really, free upgrade, zero value for you in my opinion. You will get way better result with energy shield than free upgrade. The rest of the card, I do not have anything else to say. I think it's decent. There is nothing bad with the rest of the cards, but the free upgrade, I think it's a waste of a slot. Okay, moving on to the research. So I would say that there is four kind of research. The first one is something that is going to provide you some benefit on economy. This is if you really want to invest into economy and go for the card masteries. So I understand that. The second one is damage boosts that are going to help you transition into glass cannon. So you are going to make progress in the legend tournament. That is the second category. The third category, I would say it's category that is providing you value for your tower overall and is long-term, such as Shatter Shard, the one that I see here. So I would not say it's bad. I think it's a very good one and it's great that you're starting it, but it's not falling in any of those two categories. It's just going to provide you a little bit more shard, which is going to help you on the long run on every aspect of your tower. And then the fourth category is things that are completely useless for you. I don't see any things in the fourth category here. What I see is that there is two that are in the third. So the module shard cost and the shatter shard is the third. Here, this to me is first category, is going to help you farm because this is in legend is completely useless, but it's going to help you farm. War regen is also helping you farm, tanking more, but in legend, this is going to be very, very limited. And then finally, here, health regen is also helping you to farm. So once again, you say that your objective is to do better in legend, but everything that I see here is about farming. So really, you need to improve your farm and go to masteries if you want to take that route, or you need to switch to damage or things that are providing you damage if you want to do better right now in tournament, because this is just helping you farming. It's not helping you in tournament. So moving to you want to do damage. One of the things that you want to do is the orb boss hit. I think this is very important. It's going to help you, especially when you have the chrono field up. With the energy net, you can reduce the health of the boss by a significant amount if you have energy net max, which you do, and the orb boss hit. So this is something that you should work on. I think it's a very good one. The second obvious one is enemy health level skip that is going to help you a little bit later on in tournament. Now that there is the ELS nerf, this is less important because you're not going to reach the maximum level of enemy level skip within the 200 wave. So this sounds good on paper, but is not the priority because anyway, you're not going to benefit it in tournament. So don't bother with this right now. I think it's going to be important when you are going to reach 600 wave or above. Before, it's not the priority, and because you're farming in EHP, it doesn't have any value right now. So this is right now falling into the fourth category. It's a good one, but right now it brings zero value for your tower, so it's clearly a trap that you should not fall into. So on the category 3, I see that the common drop chance is max, rare drop chance is max, very well, reroll shard is max, and this is one level away from being maxed, so this is also quite close. So finish off maxing this, I think at least it will be done, and then you know that you have a solid base for the long-term things that you need for your tower. So this is all good, and I'm happy to see that it's well advanced. Okay, so what do you work on? So I like enemy attack level skip, finish it, so you gold box that and you don't have to worry about that. Module shard cost, it's fine. Finish the second one, which is the daily mission that you get. When you have finished attack level skip, you can finish the second one. This, try to finish it, it's also going to be good, and you are going to unlock the fifth substat on your module very quickly with this, so I like those two things. War regen, I would like to stop this. I think you are good enough in EHP, and this is just like delaying you the transition that you should do in glass cannon. So I think we should change that and just put damage, like basic damage. Pre-roll shard, I like this, you can keep it, and then when it's finished, you can put something else, but you can keep it right now. Health regen, same as wall regen. I understand why you're doing it. It's not a bad research, but like moving from 3.1 to 3.13 is 1% increase of health regen. So you monopolize one lab for 1% of health regen. I think it's really not worth it. You should work on attack speed that is going to help you scale with your chain lightning and also providing you more control. So attack speed is something that is going to be more benefit from you than the health regen. Really, I think that the basic things that people that are trying to transition to glass cannon should do is really the damage, attack speed, and the critical factor. Like those three things are amazing. They are very underrated, they are not expensive, and they are providing you a lot of value. When you are into a very good level of those things, the next thing that you should work on is the super crit multiplicator. This is going to increase a lot of the damage of your ultimate weapon, more than the super crit chance. I was surprised because in my head it was the other around, but actually the multiplicator here is adding a lot more damage than the crit chance. So this is something that you can work on when you have finished the three things that I just mentioned. And it's not difficult. It's really about those things. If you want to go full economy, so I would say that probably working on just economical things such as the coins per kill bonus, it's quite high, but you can keep working on this. This is, to me, is completely okay. Another things that you can work on, I saw, is the golden tower bonus potentially. If you want to go full economy, this is very good. There is another thing that I saw that was potentially the death wave sales bonus is also something that is good for full echo. I mean, overall, this is like falling into the third category. It's like nice to have for your tower. You get more sales, so you get more things that are boosted. But from what I see, really what is putting you behind in echo is not the research. You have good research, you have good module. It's really to have the transition to a wall devo that is going to provide you more coins per hour. This with the combination of getting a better MVN. So from the tower and everything that I see, I would say that your number one priority is to unlock the chrono field. If I go back to the ultimate weapon, the number one priority here is to unlock the chrono field. When you have unlocked the chrono field and you start working on it, then you have good research anyway. So a lot of those research are going to be taken by chrono field, and this is going to be the number one priority over everything else. So you need to work on this. When you have the chrono field and the research going on, I would say that you need to aim for permanent chrono field, and when you reach that state, your tower is going to enter a very different level. It's going to be like way better. But to me, all the stones that you have, they should go to chrono field, and this is what is going to help you reach the goal that you want. It's probably not going to be enough. Having a permanent chrono field, a decent chain lightning, and a third beam spotlight is not the minimum condition to get you to keys, but this is required. So that's the direction that you should follow if you want to get to this. In parallel of that, the economy that you have, switching to a wall devo build, so you get a better economy, and potentially you will get enough coins generation to be able to start to afford some masteries, and some of those stones can be into the damage mastery, so you work on damage mastery while you are building the chrono field in parallel. That is another possibility. That's all I had for you today. If you wish to register, you can leave a comment down below like usually with review and a short description of your tower. Every week I'm doing a random pull through an Excel file, and then the person that gets randomly pulled gets a review like the one you just see now. Every time that you register, I enter your name into this Excel file, meaning that if you register 3 times, your name is going to be 3 times, so you have more chance to get pulled than if you just register once. Thank you everyone for watching, and I see you on the next video.